So, the trailer opens with this aerial shot of an exotic-looking bird flying over water, and then what looks to be the Forbidden Forest, that we know is a specific location in the sequel. This shot mirrors the start of the original film, where we have the aerial view of Sarah's shadow flying across water and towards Thackeray and Emily's village. This cuts to a shot of the exterior of Samuel Skelton High School, which the main characters in the film attend, and we hear the opening notes of a hauntingly acoustic version of Come Little Children. This same version played during the original teaser trailer that was shown on Halloween 2021. Then we meet our three new protagonists, Izzy, Becca and Cassie. We sense some tension between Cassie and Becca, and Cassie wishes Becca a happy birthday. Cassie asks what they're up to for the night, and Becca says,
"Birthday ritual, scary movie marathon."
But by the intercut shots, we can tell that this year might be different, with Izzy and Becca performing a different kind of ritual. Izzy and Becca are then seen walking up to a very familiar building, the old Sanderson house, which is now the Old Salem Magic Shop. Interesting to note that from behind the scenes photos we know that only part of this structure facade was built, which means in the film they have completely CGI'd the roof of the building, which is incredible and you can't notice at all. Also, a quick shout out to the Haunted Salem Trolley tour bus, which will feature heavily in the film and that we saw heaps during the filming. Then we get a quick shot of inside the magic shop, a black cat jump scare, and no, the cat isn't who you think it is, or is it? And we get our first look at Sam Richardson as Gilbert, who says,
"You know, legend has it, it's on the 16th birthday that a witch gets her powers."
We see more quick shots of Becca and Izzy performing their ritual, intercut with further aerial footage of the Forbidden Forest, and this shot of what looks to be the feet of one of the young Sanderson sisters running through the forest. Then we see an old familiar friend, beloved Book, who, as many of you pointed out in the comments, looks a little different from the last time we saw him. It seems CGI won out over practical effects this time, but he still looks fantastic, and somehow that eye looks even creepier. But where is Billy Butcherson, I hear you ask? Well, by the looks of it, he's still deep asleep in his wormy grave, but not for long, as we see a shovel about ready to dig him up from the old Burial Hill Cemetery. During all this, the audio cuts between Becca and Izzy incanting a ritualistic poem, and the voices of the Sanderson sisters repeating their Itchitacopita spell they used on Thackeray in the first film.
Another year begins anew. Maiden, mother, and crone too. We call on thee with one request. Help our intentions manifest.
It may be my imagination, but I think we can hear some younger voices repeating the Itchita spell, as if it were the young Sanderson's voices mixed with the older, but I may be imagining things. Then, the brand new, slightly wonky and homemade looking black flame candle is lit, and we see the ground cracking in front of Becca and Izzy with a red glow emitting from below. I love how the cracks in the ground split off into three, and it resembles Satan's pitchfork. And finally, we get to the moment we've all been waiting for.
Lock up your children! Yes, Salem, we're back!
Winnie's voice announces the witches are back, and we see some flashes of lightning revealing their familiar silhouettes. Interestingly, if you watch the trailer on Disney+, there is a full HD version of the trailer that gives some better details, and if you time it just right, you can pause to see the witches in more detail. When we first see Mary, her mouth is actually drooped to the exact same side it was during the first film. However, in every other photo of Mary from the sequel, it's drooped to the other side, meaning something happens after they are resurrected to switch sides. The logo appears, and we see Disney are calling this a movie event. Then we get this really awesome final scene of a Salem Scarefest worker approaching the Sanderson sisters, mistaking them for participants of the costume contest. Spot the extra dressed as the skeleton band leader from the first film in the background, and when asked if they are looking for the stage, Winnie replies,
"Always."
It is just perfection. Let us know what you thought of the trailer in the comments below, and thank you as always for watching.
Always.
Beer.